There are always those who despise you, watching your every move, plotting to stop your success. They believed they could thwart your rise, but they were wrong. Your victory was not only certain, it was inevitable. While they wasted their energy on envy and sabotage, you focused on excellence. Now they are forced to watch as your greatness unfolds, unable to do a thing about it. Elon Musk just shared your photo, and now everyone is talking. This is no coincidence. The very triumph they believed was impossible is now spreading far and wide, and they must watch from the sidelines as your glory burns brighter than ever. Their schemes, their blueprints for your failure, shattered like glass beneath your feet. Their anger, their frustration, is simply proof of your undeniable power. They thought you would break, that you would fall, but you didn't. You've never been bound by human limits. You're working with something much bigger, a force beyond their comprehension, something that shields you from their every attempt to bring you down. Your rise, your brilliance, it's all part of a cosmic plan. And now, as they watch, you continue to prove that no matter how hard they tried, your magic was always destined to prevail. Keep shining. The game is yours. They're going to be furious. Not just angry, not just disappointed, enraged because you prevailed in spite of their complex plans, their hushed plots, and their ceaseless attempts to stop your fate. And at this point, they are powerless to change it. Let's discuss what they did in an attempt to stop you. It is necessary to correct the record. Under false pretenses of compassion, I'm just worried about them. They sowed doubt in fertile minds by spreading lies about your character while you weren't around. These skillfully prepared falsehoods are meant to get people to doubt your honesty. Rumors that began as whispers and spread across your neighborhood like a sickness. They made a concerted effort to turn individuals against you, including erstwhile friends, possible partners, and others who may have aided your path, making them suddenly inaccessible, cold, and aloof. Strangely broken connections, oddly canceled possibilities, and curiously locked doors before you could enter them. Do you recall those inexplicable rejections, those abrupt, silent treatments, or the abrupt breakups of relationships? They did it, working in the dark, tugging invisible threads, and planning little setbacks that they thought would add up to your final demise. At crucial junctures, when momentum was building, triumph seemed imminent, and your confidence was at its highest. They destroyed your progress. They attacked when they believed you were most vulnerable, focusing on your weakest areas and taking advantage of your weaknesses. What they didn't realize was that human hands didn't create your route. Mortal intervention did not impede with your voyage. They couldn't have manipulated your fate. Long before they made the decision to resist it, you were selected for this triumph. Each obstacle they put in your path turned into a stepping stone. Every challenge was turned into a chance. Each assault made you more determined. You were chosen by fate, which is unavoidable. Even their last-ditch efforts to stop you simply made you go faster and harder. When they were busy conspiring against you, cosmic forces were busy rearranging reality to your advantage, because the cosmos has means of rerouting negative energy back to its source. There is no mortal force that could oppose it. Everything they sent to destroy you changed direction in midair and turned to your favor, and you completely understand this. This is the most powerful kind of spiritual alchemy. This is the ultimate manifestation of cosmic justice. Their animosity against you became fire for your aspirations. Every poisonous phrase, every evil deed, every effort to dull your brilliance, all of it was digested by your soul and turned into unadulterated, unstoppable energy. You became stronger because they wanted you to be weak. You became unbreakable because they wanted you to be shattered. You discovered your actual tribe. They wanted you to be alone. Your voice now reverberates beyond dimensions. They wanted you to remain mute. They wanted you to be black. You became bright. What you give out multiplies back to you, according to the spiritual rule that they disregarded. You were channeling creativity while they were broadcasting destruction. You made a commitment to building up, while others concentrated on pulling down. You were focused on your rise, while others were preoccupied with your collapse. The cosmos hurried to fill the void left by their bad energy with benefits. They banged doors shut, causing pressure that opened doors of opportunity in other places. They created room for aligned individuals who would really support your mission by turning others against you. What great irony! Your most remarkable metamorphosis was sparked by their worst attempts to hurt you. They unintentionally hurried you closer to the same goal they were trying so hard to keep you from. What scares them the most is the magic you have, this mystical power to turn resistance into progress. Not that you were successful in spite of them, but that you were successful as a result of them. They had to live with the indescribable knowledge that they contributed to the same triumph they battled to stop, and their strikes turned into the wind behind your wings. Their desperation reached a fever pitch as your strength grew and your triumph approached. Sabotage by one person wasn't working. Individual assaults were unsuccessful. They escalated because their lone assault against your destiny was failing miserably. They started assembling supporters against you, recruiting collaborators, and forming a coalition of doubt that was specifically targeted at your dream. They used fake proof of your ineptitude to seek common contacts. They made up complex stories about your character. They created thorough arguments against your success. Words like, "Let me tell you what they really did. You don't know them like I do. Trust me, they're not who you think they are meant to build an army that will stand in your way." They wanted others to agree with them, to validate their hate, and to know they weren't the only ones who opposed your magic. For a while, some people did believe them. Others joined in their incredulous chorus. Some of them consented to be used as instruments in your symphony of devastation. Then, however, a miracle occurred. It became impossible to ignore your brightness. Your reality became too obvious to doubt. Your magic became too strong to ignore. The recruits started to see through the lies one by one. The coalition broke apart one by one. Even the most ardent doubters were forced to acknowledge the proof of your deservingness when it was shown to them one by one. Not only is your triumph indisputable, but it also changes everyone who sees it. It involves transforming deeply held assumptions about what is possible, as well as influencing viewpoints and minds. Those who formerly questioned you are now researching your strategies. Those who used to doubt you are now looking for your advice. Even their closest allies start to whisper, "Maybe we were wrong about them." Their schemes aren't just failing. They're backfiring spectacularly, converting former critics into your newest supporters, turning past doubters into current believers. The hater watches in horror as their carefully crafted web of lies falls apart, as their carefully managed campaign of destruction collapses. They attempted to turn the local community against you, but now they are enthusiastically celebrating your success. And as your power grows to heights they cannot fathom, they stand alone, becoming more and more isolated in their resentment. Pay attention. The game is already rigged, as you are aware. The purpose of the walls is to crush you, not merely to close you in. Let's go right to the point. How are we responding to it? The awakened urge to be heard, to be held, to be free, when you live on the leash of the market, when profit and power shackle the weak. We also hear you. Not everyone is cut out for obsidian inner order. Yes, there is a paywall. However, those who support our objective and stand with us fire bullets at the archons in the chamber. They resist the machine by pushing back. They have access to the most profound, unvarnished, and unadulterated truth. Additionally, they are given a weekly 1-hour live tailored group tarot reading as a token of appreciation. The genuine sort of counsel, strategy, and clarity. Kicking someone when they're down, however, is a cowardly approach. Because of this, you may start receiving the Astral Atom special daily email for free right now. No catch, no paywall. Just reach the free Patreon tier. Description link. This is a two-way conversation, not simply us talking at you. Answer all of our emails. We'll read it. We'll listen to you. And we'll do our best to get the universe to respond to you directly. We need your help if you can. Take what's free if you can. The Inner Order of Obsidian is now accessible. Let's get down to business. Let's talk honestly about what you've proven with this win. Although you've shown your resolve in spades, this is more than that. Even while your skill is clearly evident, this is more than that. Although you have undoubtedly outdone them all, this is more than just a testament to your diligence. No, the divine force that permeates you is shown by this triumph, which is much more important. They wanted you to doubt your value, to accept their lowered expectations of you, and to absorb their restrictions. Rather, you made a connection with the cosmic source that has known your actual worth since the beginning of time. You were able to access age-old knowledge that immediately sent manifestation secrets to your mind. They made noise to try to mute your thunder, tried to smother your fire with their doubt, and sought to dull your light with their shadows. But what took its place? Not only did you continue to shine brightly, but you intensified it to the point that you lighted not just your own route, but also the pathways of many others who were following you. The universe was unambiguous about its decision. Your triumph was divinely planned, and the outcome of spiritual forces perfectly aligning with your true purpose. It was not just good luck, coincidence, or accident. Think on the things you have conquered, such as the obstacles you faced, the resources you did not have, the assistance that was denied, and the doors that were left unopened. According to common sense, logical analysis, and reasonable computation, you ought to have failed. But now that you've accomplished what they thought was impossible, you stand in all your splendor. That's miraculous, not simply success. That is proof that there are powers at work in your favor that go beyond physical constraints. That is proof that your mission is surrounded by spiritual protection. You worked under the broad rules of universal plenty, while they worked under the constrained rules of human politics. You played multi-dimensional chess across timeframes they are unable to see, while they played checkers. Your power is unearthly, not simply remarkable, and it's the very thing that gets people furious. They are unable to offset energy they cannot see, compete against forces they do not comprehend, or interfere with alignment that exists outside of the material plane. Your triumph proves that you are a part of something bigger than they can imagine, not simply that you are better than they first believed. They are now experiencing their own hell, a nightmare come true, at this very time. In before of their eyes, the very situation they spent endless hours trying to avoid is playing out in striking, indisputable detail. Through sheer willpower and malevolent purpose, they satisfied themselves they could decide your destiny, felt they had the upper hand, and convinced themselves they controlled the story. They carefully and scientifically laid out your demise. They now look on in terror as you soar to heights they always said were out of your grasp, as you draw out a wealth of benefits they said weren't yours, as you embody grandeur that they have constantly warned you wasn't in your destiny. Not only because you were successful, but because your success seems like their own personal failure. They are going through psychological anguish. They base their self-concept on being superior to you, stake their ego on your limits, and link their confidence to your failure. Now that you've broken those illusions, what will happen to their identity? Now that you've surpassed the limits they were unable to reach, what happens to their perception of themselves? Now that you've written a chapter that they said was impossible, what happens to their story? They have to stand by and watch you rise, helpless, insignificant, and impotent. They have to admit that they were unable to halt your inevitable triumph, even with their best attempts, most inventive sabotage, and most relentless assaults. They come to the most horrifying realization. Maybe they were never as strong as they thought they were. Maybe the power they believed they had was only smoke and mirrors created by their own ego. Fantasy, a reassuring lie people persuaded themselves to feel significant, was their purported ability to decide your destiny. Now that reality has stripped away those reassuring illusions. They are forced to face the reality they have been avoiding at all costs. Your destiny is too certain for them to disturb. Your purpose is too safe for them to meddle with. And your magic is too powerful for them to control. And when they come to terms with the fact that they are completely helpless in the face of your inevitable ascent, their last line of defense crumbles, their last delusion breaks, and their last hope dies. The universe they must now inhabit must be one in which you are unstoppable. Recognize this with absolute clarity. The triumph you are currently celebrating, as great as it is, as spectacular as it seems, as important as it is just the beginning of your actual fate. What you have so far manifested is a taste of your true power, a sample of your ultimate mission, and a glimpse of your genuine potential. Your spiritual DNA contains talents that the cosmos has only started to reveal. This victory is proof that the magic that is coursing through you is real, that the connection you have made with cosmic forces is genuine, and that the path you are on is divinely shielded from anybody who would try to obstruct it. The exact force driving your metamorphosis has been transformed from their hate and their focused, purposeful, and intentional resistance to your ascent. You have transformed their darkness into your light, their poison into your medicine, and their curse into your blessing via spiritual alchemy that is beyond their understanding. They gave vital vitality to the same triumph they battled to stop, without knowing how or meaning to. The ultimate in cosmic irony, they unknowingly helped bring about the very result they were most afraid of. Allow them to be angry. Allow anger to overwhelm them. Allow resentment to taint what's left of their soul. Nothing about your trajectory is altered by their emotional condition. Ascend farther and let them observe from the sidelines. Allow them to observe from the shadows as your power grows. As your power becomes stronger, let them watch from the sidelines. Their viewpoint has no bearing on your fate. You stay focused, not on their response, but on your own ascent. Not on their disappointment, but on your growing perspective. Not on their loss, but on your own development. Because you're already shaping what will happen next, while they're fixated on what they couldn't stop. Instead of marking the end of your trip, this triumph signifies the activation of your actual purpose. It signifies the beginning of your reign rather than the conclusion of your transformation. It signifies the beginning of your power rather than the completion of your transformation. The realization of this victory does not negate the magic that brought it about. This victory doesn't negate the supernatural powers that worked in your favor. This win does not take away the heavenly protection that was all around you. These cosmic friends are still there for you, still empowering you, still guiding you, and still dedicated to helping you realize the fullness of your destiny. A destiny so great that it surpasses even your wildest dreams. Thus, rejoice at this time. Celebrate this accomplishment. Celebrate this victory. But know with unwavering assurance that more amazing changes are about to happen through you. Bigger triumphs are coming, and greater manifestations are waiting. Not only is your magic unstoppable, it's only just beginning. Furthermore, they are unable to change it.